Playoff hockey is back in Pittsburgh, and the Penguins pick up a huge Game 3 win, 7-4, to take a 2-1 series lead. For me, coming into tonight's game was all about having a good start, right? You see the Rangers in Game 1 in front of their fans. You always feed off that energy, and you always have a great first period. So the key for tonight was having that great start, and oh boy, did the Penguins ever have a good start. But let's get into the game. Before we start, let's just mention that we still have no Brian Dumoulin, no Rickard Rakell, still no DeSmith or Jarry, so Louis Domingue is in the net for his second straight playoff game. But this actually came out after my last video, and that is DeSmith will miss the entire playoff run. That was announced yesterday by Mike Sullivan. He has a core muscle injury. He had to do surgery for it. But some good news, speaking of Jason Zucker, he's back tonight, slotted on the third line, not with Gino where he was all year. So the puck drops, the fans are going crazy. I absolutely love playoff hockey in Pittsburgh. Makes the game so much more enjoyable, obviously, as a Penguins fan, but that place just is rocking, and I guess the players fed off that because 2 minutes in, they get on the board. Zucker just gets in on the forecheck, puck goes back to the point, shoots it down low. Brock McGinn trying to get the puck to the net, always a good thing to do, actually goes in off a Ranger and in. They reviewed it, Mike Sullivan challenged it. Good goal. No reason why it shouldn't be a good goal. Then it's not even 3 minutes later. The kid line for the Rangers answers right back, ties the game 1-1. It's Lafreniere to Capo Caco. Great shot from him. Not much Louis Domingue could have done there. It's a tough shot to save. You're moving side to side. The shot comes instantly. And actually, funny thing is, I think if it's DeSmith or Jarry, it might get stopped. I've mentioned this before. The fact that Domingue is right-handed, I think benefits him a lot more because players try and shoot high blocker, instead get the glove, and he always snatches them and creates the whistle. But on this goal right here, I actually think it hurt him because Kako took that shot and it beat him high glove. Whereas if it was Jarry or DeSmith in the net, I think they have an easier job of stopping it because for them, it's just high blocker. It hits maybe their shoulder. So now we go minutes later, and a big part of this game for me was special teams. We spoke on the power play in Game 2, how it struggled. It did not look good. It's the Penguins getting their first power play of this game. Funny thing is, it did not look good. And it was actually the second unit coming on. Matheson gives the puck to Rodriguez. I love him using his shot. He does just that. Jeff Carter gets a piece of it, and it just beats Shesterkin for the 2-1 lead. This is a 2-for-1. You get your power play goal, and you get that depth scoring. I mentioned it in Game 2. The Penguins can't just survive off that Crosby line. This was a huge game from the depth. A few minutes later, we go back on the power play. Again, first unit, nowhere to be found. It's the second unit saving the day. Rodriguez comes in the zone with the puck. Again, using his shot. Absolutely love that he's using the shot. It misses the net, but it doesn't matter. Rebound comes right to his stick, and he does no mistake, scoring his second of the game. Completely forgot. That's actually my bad. It's late. I'm a bit tired. It was his first goal of the game, not the second one. The second one is the next one. I'll get to that one. I'm jumping too ahead. I'm excited here. And just 5 minutes after that, now we go to the Rodriguez second goal. Huge effort from Brian Boyle. Great effort. And I'm not going to lie, I was very critical on Boyle's performance in Game 2. He knows he doesn't have the speed, but instead uses the size. Huge hit on the Rangers defenseman. And by the way, the Penguins were coming out here and throwing some really big hits, trying to match what the Rangers were doing in New York. They were missing a few of the hits, but every time they attempted one, regardless if they hit the guy or not, the fans loved it and they would go crazy, and that just built some kind of momentum. And we'll get to the Rodriguez goal in just a second, but speaking about hits, I almost forgot this. Jason Zucker again absolutely leveled Adam Fox earlier in this period. Knowing the Penguins, they don't hit much. This has to be the best one I've seen all year. And the fans went crazy for it. Love to see Jason Zucker get involved, and drew a penalty 5 seconds after that. So that was probably his best shift of the whole season. But let's go back. Boyle's big hit on the Rangers defenseman. Gives him the puck, gives it over to Evan Rodriguez, and you love to see him use that shot again. He has now scored and factored in on 3 of the Penguins' last goals and the second of his night. The Penguins needed somebody in that bottom 6 to have themselves a game, and in Game 3, it was Evan Rodriguez. They needed that game from him, and not necessarily from him, but anybody of that bottom 6, but he's the one who stepped up. And not just him, multiple guys in that bottom 6 tonight had a great performance. They won us the game tonight, and they needed a win like this, a game like this from these guys. Penguins are up 4-1, fans are loving it, good vibes everywhere. Then we get to that second period. I think the Penguins took the first shot of the period after the Rangers scored those 2 goals. Let's get into that. Frank Vatrano makes it 4-2 Rangers. It was actually a beautiful pass from Chris Kreider. Nothing Domingue could have done on that, in my opinion. It was going, from one side to the other. Goes over 2 Penguins defenseman sticks, and right on the tape of Vatrano for a one-timer. I don't even think Shesterkin can even make that save. Some of the best goalies in the league. Literally a minute later, huge scramble in front of the net of Domingue. He actually made 2-3 great saves. Fans are going crazy. And I absolutely love the fans rallying behind Domingue, just like they did with Zatkov back in 2016. Every time he was making a save, you heard the cheers a bit louder than usual. You had those chants, Lou or whatever it was, every time he made a save. And I'm sure a guy like that, not much experience in the playoffs, and to be put in such a high pressure situation when you have fans backing you up like that, I'm sure, it goes a long way. But back to the play, it's 2-3 great saves from Domingue. Penguins are scrambling. It's Panarin who gets the puck. Way too much time. He does no mistake, picks the corner, beautiful shot, and it's 4-3 now. And it kind of handcuffed Domingue, got him in that little area where it's tough to make a save, right between kind of the helmet and the glove. It's a weird spot. Great player, great shot, but the Penguins at this point wake up. They did pick it up a bit from that point. They were playing a bit better. They do get a power play way later, so now it's like, okay, finally we can turn the momentum back in our favor. It's Chris Letang who goes and gets the puck all the way back to his own blue line. In my opinion, right there, he should have kind of pick this play right away. You either go up to Sid, Gino, Gensel, pick your guy. He took a little too long. It was a bit of an unfortunate play because he made the right play. 9 out of 10 times he gets that puck out. He went for the saucer. It just hit the defense or the forechecker's stick. Now all of a sudden he gets the puck going the other way. You're scrambling. Chris Letang attempts to come and get him, loses his stick in the process, slams hard into the net, and again, puck in midair, Andrew Cobb, no mistake, good hand-eye, gets the puck in. Overall, a disaster. I know I said it was a bit unfortunate. It was, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can't make that play, especially if you're the top guys, and especially at that point in the game, in a playoff game. Now we go into the third period. I mentioned special teams earlier because of the 2 huge power play goals from the Penguins, but now we go to the other side of it, and that is the penalty kill who got tested. The Penguins take 2 penalties in the first 7 minutes of the third. That could have went wrong big time. It was Gino who I believe got a tripping call, and then Heinen for a slash. But for me, the MVPs of this third period, Louis Domingue and that penalty kill, because they could have easily scored on one of those 2 power plays. Louis Domingue really stepped up in that third period. I know he allowed 4 goals in this game, and you can look at him and be like, not a good game, which you could say, yeah, that could be true, but you got to put some context to it. It's your third string goalie. He's not going to steal you a game. Maybe he might, but you can't expect him to do that. It's moments like this where he steps up, right? He already allowed the 4 goals. Forget about it. It's a 4-4 game. He made some amazing saves in that third period to keep it 4-4. And that's all you can ask for. Domingue has definitely exceeded his expectations so far in the first 2.5 games that he's played so far. And every time he's making a save, you hear the fans go crazy. I love it, Fans just rallying around this guy. And Domingue, to me, he allowed the 4 goals, yes, but he stepped up when he needed to. And because he made those consecutive amount of big saves, the Penguins go the other way. It's still a tie game. Good forecheck from Gino, gets the puck to Heinen. Heinen is coming from this weird angle, kind of misses the shot, or I believe he gets deflected. He didn't get his full power on that shot. That's what fools Georgiev. Beats him 5-hole. Fans are going crazy. Heinen gets on the board, and it's a 5-4 game with 8 minutes left in the third period. You love to see it. Another depth piece coming through, scoring a huge goal for the Penguins. And then from that point, I really liked what I saw from the Penguins. They were really defending that lead very well. A huge thanks to the Crosby line. They were dominating those last couple of shifts. They were keeping the Rangers in their own zone, and that's exactly where you want them. They can't do nothing when they're defending that relentless forecheck. Obviously, you like it because it's creating chances for your team, but mostly you're just chipping away at that clock. 5 minutes turns to 4, 4 turns to 3. Rangers aren't really doing much in their offensive zone. And I want to mention, I actually really did like this Heinen-Malkin, Kapanen second line. I'm telling you right now, little prediction here, I'm feeling a Kasperi Kapanen goal in one of these next games. And then we get to the Rangers pulling their goalie, Jake Gensel from his own blue line. That's some balls right there to just fire it down and scoring on top of it. You gotta love that. Could have easily been a nice thing, but Gensel's got confidence in himself. Gets the insurance marker, 6-4 Penguins. And then minutes later, another empty netter to make it 7-4. But what a pass on that second empty netter from Crosby. What was that, showing off? I don't know what it was. Or maybe it actually handcuffed him and he had no choice to go like that. Either way, beautiful pass. They needed to win this one. I'm not going to lie. When it was 4-4, when they tied it, I thought we were going to get some kind of 6-5 Rangers overtime win or something. The fact that they stuck with it and just squeezed out this win, huge. And also, who knows the next time the depth is going to show up like this, right? Could be the last time of the series. Who knows? So if you didn't win this game, the game where you beat Shesterkin and got depth, and you find yourself down 2-1 in the series after getting that, it's just absolutely shooting yourselves in the foot. I mentioned in my last video, obviously you want to win both at home, but I was content with splitting, and now you're guaranteeing not going down 3-1 in the series, going back to New York. That's all that matters. At worst, you go back to New York, best of 3 series, 2-2. And the best case scenario, you could still have a great game 4 and maybe muster together another win. And now imagine going up 3-1. And most importantly, this win allows you to buy some time for guys like Raquel, guys like Jari, guys like Dumoulin. I'm expecting a crazy game from Shesterkin. You got to get ready for that. But nonetheless, great game from the Penguins. I'd love to hear what you have to say about the game. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one, and hopefully after a very big game 4 win.